So for today's lesson, we're going to talk about graphing. But before we start graphing, we are going to check our solution. And so it says, is negative 4 and 5 is the ordered pair negative 4, 5 a solution to y equals negative 1 half x plus 3. So if we want to check this, this is obviously your y value. This is your x value. So we're just going to plug those in. We have 5 is equal to, with a question mark, negative 1 half x plus 3. I'm sorry, we don't need the x. We were supposed to plug in the 4 for that, the negative 4. Okay, that's better. And so 5 is equal to, well, 1 half of negative 1 half times negative 4 is equal to 2. And clearly 5 is equal to 5. And so negative 4, 5 is a solution. So if you want to know a point that lies on the line, all you have to, if it lies on the line, all you have to do is plug it in and see if it equals it. Now we are being asked to graph this. So if we were going to graph this, here's my recommendation. We have y equals mx plus b form. This is the y-int. This is the slope. And what I typically do is I graph the y-int, that's 1 point, and then I use the slope to determine a second point, and then I graph a line through those 2 points because 2 points determine any line. So here we go. We've got the following. We have y equals negative 1 half x plus 3. So in this, m is equal to negative 1 over 2, and b is equal to positive 3. So if I go up to 3, and I put a point, that is b. That is the point 0, 3. And how do I know that's the point? Well, if you plug 0 into that equation, you have negative 1 half times 0 plus 3 is equal to y, which is y is equal to 3. And so we've used 0 as our x value, and 3 is our y value. Okay, so we've got 0, 3 as our point. Now, the trick with the slope, since it's negative 1 half, this is a negative slope, so this is going to tell us to go down because it's negative. And we will go right 2 from that point that we started at. So we're going to start at 0, 3. And if we count 1 down, 2 over, we are right here. And we have another point. And that point is at, we'll get into it in 1 second. That point is at the point, sorry, trying to get rid of that, 2, 2. And so 2, 2 must be a solution to this. So if I plug 2, 2 in for this, we have 2 is equal to, with question mark, negative 1 half times 2 plus 3. 2 is equal to negative 1 plus 3, or 2 is equal to 2. Okay, so now we know 2, 2 is a solution, and so that point is right. So we can follow this. What I recommend is m, a positive, whatever is on top, this is how many up, this is how many to the right. The way to think about it, the bottom number is always to the right, although you can go to the left and do the opposite of what you did for the first one. That might be confusing, but what I'm saying is, let's look at the same one. We have negative 1, 2, so I went down and I went 2 right. Well, if I want to go to the left 2, I'm inverting this, then I need to go up 1. So if I go left 1, 2, and up 1, that's like right here. And you can see that the point negative 2, 4 will be a point on this graph as well. So that's just some standard stuff. That's one way of graphing, is to use the b and use the m. Graph using intercepts. So let's do that. We're going to do 2x minus 5y is equal to 10. So if we plug in 0 for x, they want us to do 0 for x and 0 for y. If I plug in 0 for x, I have 2 times 0 minus 5y is equal to 10, which is negative 5y is equal to 10, which means y is negative 2. Okay, if I plug 0 for y, then this is gone, and I have 2x is equal to 10, or x is equal to 5. So if I go to 0, 2, that's right here. That's 1 point. If I go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I go there. And then I draw my line. I didn't do a very good job. Let me use the ruler. Oops. And I draw the line. Then I will also have it because 2 points determine a line. Now, I didn't have the slope in that one. It would not be beneficial to use the slope here because in this case, it's going, what you have to do to be able to use this trick from over on the right side that we used the first example is you have to have y solved for. So we had 2x minus 5y is equal to 10. I subtract 2x. Negative 5y is equal to 2x, negative 2x plus 10. And I divide by negative 5. Now I have y is equal to 2 fifths x plus, minus 2. So you can see that if I was to graph this, I would do the same thing. I'd go to b is negative 2. Oh, look, it is. And then I'd go up 2 over 5, up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and boom. We see that we have another graph that followed the same rule, even though I did it a different way. For the next one, graph y is equal to 4 and x is equal to negative 2. If y is going to be equal to 4, it needs to be 4 in every position. Well, where is y equal to 4? Well, at 0, 4, y is equal to 4. At 1, 4, y is equal to 4. The x has no bearing over, the y value. And so we get the line that looks like this. Now, if I was to graph x as negative 2, I'd simply go to negative 2. 0, negative 2 is a point. 1, negative 2, or negative, sorry, I said that wrong. Negative 2, 0 is a point. Negative 2, 1 is a point. And negative 2, negative 1 is also a point. And I could graph that as follows. Oh my gosh, I cannot draw this today. Close enough. I give up. Anyways, now we can look at the next one. The increasing popularity of farmers can be modeled by f is equal to 265t plus 2728, where t represents the number of years since after 2000. So if f represents the number of farmers, graph the equation. Suppose the trend continues, use it to estimate the number of farmers in 2015. So if we were going to graph this is going to be a little bit trickier. Let's pretend these are thousands now. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So to do this one, it's going to be a lot less precise, but we'd probably want to use a graphing calculator or something. So 2778 somewhere up here. And if we're going to go up to 65, that's not very much. I mean, that might be up to about 3,000. So, I mean, after that, that's if you have one. If you had 1,000 of those, you'd be a lot higher. So I guess like right here or something, pretty close to it. And we'd go something like that. That's just an estimate, obviously. These are 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000. Remember, these represent T, these represent F, FT. And so when I said the 265, that's when you have one T. So it'd be pretty hard to fit the 1 on there to be able to visually see it. It's probably a lot steeper than this, but for the sake of this video, since I don't have a graphing calculator, we'll leave it at that. But if they said in 2015, what is the number of farmers, and we have that formula, then we can simply go 265, 15 years have passed since 2000, plus 2728. And if I use a calculator real quick, 265 times 15 plus 2728. That is 6703. The number of farmers is 6,703. Okay, so that's another one. We have another word problem, but we're going to skip it. For 18, obviously, you guys know that all we do is plug these in. So for 18, we have 2 times x, negative 4, minus 5 times 2 is equal to 9, question mark. This is negative 8 minus 10 is equal to 9. And this is negative 18 is equal to 9, which is false. So that is not a solution to this. But if we do 2, negative 1, let's see, 2 times 2 minus 5 times negative 1 is equal to 9. This is the other part, part B of 18. This is 4 plus 5 is equal to 9, which is 9 is equal to 9. And so therefore this is a solution. If we wanted to do the next one, another way you could graph, guys, you could do a t-table. We have x minus 2, so this is negative 2 minus 2, which is negative 4. We have 0 minus 2, which is negative 2, and we have 4 minus 2, which is 2. Okay, and then for the last two, guys, I'd recommend we use m. M in the first one is negative 1/4. And b is 2, so if I was going to graph that, I would simply, and I'm going to erase this now. Okay, that's gone. We have 1/4 and b is 2, so we go up to 2, we put our point, we go down 1, this is negative, so down 1, right 4, down 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4, we have our point. We draw our line, and that is done. And then 2x minus 3, we have y is equal to that. The only way, obviously, to use this, remember, it has to be y solve for, and it has to be just positive y. It can't be negative. We have b is negative 3, and m is 2 over 1. And so whenever you have an integer here, it's always over 1 because 2 divided by 1 is still 2. So if we go negative 3, there's a point. We go up 2, 1, 2 over 1. We can draw our line. If you wanted to get another point in, you could go up 2 over 1 again, and you'd have another point, and so on and so forth. Make sure you guys are practicing. I will put the next video up. We're almost done with this semester. Thank you guys for paying attention and watching all these videos. Take care.